Hey everybody, welcome to the latest episode of Studio Spotlight 9. I am here with someone I met, man, how long ago was that? Like 3 or 4 years ago
About
now?
3 years ago,
Like 3 years ago?
April. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, this is Ashley Kelly.
Hello,
Uh,
everyone.
so I know you've gotten into life coaching because we kind of started with each other in this kind of group program, that I think both of us found extremely useful.
Hmm.
And we got connected because in this group there was your husband was in my group,
Yeah.
and then I think you were in a separate
Bring
kind of
on.
group
Yeah.
within it. But then we got to meet as well because of everything that was going on. And I think in those 3 years both of us have taken quite big steps in our journey in
Hmm.
kind of what we're doing. So how is it, like, what was that reason for you that you wanted to get into life coaching?
Well, uh, forward or rewind, I guess I should say, 3 years ago. Yeah. A friend of mine, my best friend for college, her name's Jocelyn Aranda, and some of you viewers may know her. She invited me to one of these self improvement trainings that you and I met, and it was a 3 day training. And I've never been to one before. Didn't know a whole lot about self improvement. I mean, I've heard about it, but and the whole journal thing, and just little bits and pieces of it. And she just uh, said, "This is amazing. You need to go." And I hesitated. The thoughts that came to my mind were, is this going to put me out of my comfort zone? And is this something that really is going to help me? What exactly are they going to do in this training? Things like that. So, but I trusted her enough to try it out. And yes, it was life changing for me. From there, um, I took on more trainings and did the program that you were with my husband. And that was what, like a 12-week program, I think.
Yeah, I think it was
So
12. Yeah.
it was a good amount of time where we really dug deep on the principles, techniques that were taught in there. Um, and and then I kind of took a step back for a few months, um, and then got back into it. I was like, my life is not quite where I want it to be. I don't know where I want to go in my life. I felt like there was something calling me and something that I needed to do more. And I um, felt like I had gifts that I wasn't utilizing and I was hiding from. And so about a year ago, um, my husband and I we were trying to figure out where he wanted to go in his career, and where we wanted to settle, because we had moved a lot in the first few years of our marriage. And I'm a believer that there is a God, and He um, witnessed to us that you need to move back to Kansas City, where I am from. And that was a leap of faith, because He asked us to drop everything, including Shane's job, our house, and just up and leave. Now, who on earth would ever do something like that? Yeah, logically, no, it did not make any sense. But we had faith that this is what we were supposed to do, and we were inspired and prompted. This is what you're supposed to do. So we sold our house and left Utah. That's where we were. We were in the West Valley area. And in about a month, we were in a moving truck and moving to Kansas City. And then we um, had to settle and figure out where we wanted to live. And so we lived with my brother for a few months, and living with family, can get emotionally roller coaster and got all different dynamics. And so trying to find another job, just a lot of dynamic during months in. We found a job as a financial advisor for him. And God told us that's where you need to be. Don't look anywhere else. You're done. This is where you're supposed to be right now. And again, you're like, okay, well, I hope this is where will take us where we need to go. We can get a house and get our own place, our own space. So a month later, after receiving the job, we found a house. We got in, which, everyone out there trying to find a house these days, the market is crazy and very competitive. And we found a house, and we moved in a few weeks later, which is the house we're currently in. And a few months in, I started getting back into trainings again. And I thought, okay, now where do I go with my gifts and what I feel like I need to do? And God told me, this is what you need to be doing. You need to be a life coach. I've given you these gifts to utilize to help people, to help them overcome and become the people and the potential that they have. So I know that's a backstory, but it gives you an idea of a lot of faith on my part, and really coming to know what my calling is. I think a lot of people are always looking for that in their life. What are they called to do?
Oh, absolutely.
So, from there, I joined a mastermind group, and retracking a couple of months before that, I was inspired to call my business, my life coaching business, Light the Truth. Because I think we as a people and as a human race have lost that light that's within us. Our potential, who we are, our identity, our passions, what are our goals, what do we want in life? We really have lost that in society, especially I think in the last year. And so I took that as an inspiration. I saw a picture on Facebook actually, and it actually read Light and Truth, but I read it as Light the Truth. And I said, that's it. That's what I need to call it. And so here I am wanting to light the truth for individuals out there. So
I love that. That's really cool. Like I mean, I'm sure you've noticed, with this, like in struggles that people are feeling, experiencing, like it's almost like that weight is pulling them down, right?
yeah, it does.
What does some of those struggles look like that you're finding that people are really experiencing or feeling?
Um, well, kind of what I said before. I'm finding as I'm mentoring others, where they're using their outside circumstances to define who they are and their identity. Some other struggles are, how do you manage your emotions and your thoughts? Uh, we're never really taught how to do that. We weren't taught how to do that in school. I mean, and as parents, we don't really know. We were never taught that. So but that is a huge part of our humanity that controls um, our circumstances and our results. Ironically, we are the ones, and what's going on inside of us controls what's going on the outside. And um, so realizing that our thoughts and our emotions control that, and knowing how to manage that and having techniques on how to do that is very helpful to help them take those weights where it feels like it's, rocks on your back or shackles attached to your ankles, or however that looks or feels for you.
uh,
So,
absolutely. That's I can totally relate with what you've said. And I found it so interesting during this, last year or so now that we've had this, you know, pandemic stuff kind of going on. And I felt like it was a year prior to that, I was had the worst kind of struggles I'd ever really had with all the things I'd experienced health wise and you name it. So once the pandemic thing started coming, I was like, okay, I'm a year ahead of where, because I'd already felt that, oh, can't do anything, can't, like, already sitting in that just nasty cycle
yeah.
that we go through. I was like, okay, what do I do? And it sounds like you were kind of getting in that same place too of, I felt this because, oh man, we're living with family again. This brings stuff up. Well, you had those experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So that really makes it so, in the world that we live in, you've experienced a ton of those things that other people might be experiencing now, that they're feeling, that they're weighed down with. And that's so valuable. You've already gone there and been there. Now you can help those people get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So what does it look like when you're working with somebody? Like how do you offer that? What is it? How do you kind of structure what you're doing?
Like a session with them, with
Yeah,
my clients.
yeah,
So, well, technology these days is so makes it so easy now. So it makes it, my clientele be wide more uh, open, um, where I can use technology like Zoom. Zoom will be what I would use, and um, so we can have one-on-one, camera to camera, face to face sessions together, um, and my kind of structure is I, one of my gifts is I'm an empath, and I also have intuitive skills, and so I can sense. I'm very sensibility, as I've heard the term. I like how I've used that term, and I really intuitively listen to them of what's going on, and like really listen to their struggles, their problems, what their blocks are, of what goals or what they want out of life, or their relationship with someone that they're struggling with, whatever that is, and intuitively really get to see, like, listen to their language, their tone of their voice, and really understand what's going on deeper inside and what they consciously cannot see in themselves. And that's what coaching is all about,
oh yeah,
is someone there on the sideline, not sidelines, but beside you, um, like basically putting a mirror
yeah,
in your face of what's going on inside of your head. How are you really feeling? And what language are you using that's weighing you down?
absolutely. That's language can be such an interesting thing when it comes to. I mean, I'll admit I had never thought about, how powerful the language that we use is. It's never went there, never even considered it. It just, and I think back, I'm like, wow, I said some terrible stuff that just it didn't benefit me at all.
Purview, yeah. Mhm.
Like, just wouldn't help anybody at any time, anywhere. It's
Yeah,
just not really a thing.
yeah.
Oh, are do you have a kind of ideal person that you work with? I mean, I know when I first got into this, my first reaction was, "Well, I can coach everybody." Like, no, no, I can't.
Yeah. No,
Not function that way at all.
no.
Because I know there are certain, situations and things where you'd love to help them, don't get me wrong, but you can sit there and say, what I do probably wouldn't be best for you, but I know this person
Right.
that can help you. What is that, client for you? Like, who are they? What, you know, what is that person?
My intended client kind
Yeah.
of. Um, well, for me, my passion is the family. I believe there is a outer source that is attacking um, the family and has been for a long time. And especially in this last year, the statistics say divorce is rising and families are splitting, and um, so a family, that is my passion. So whether that looks like I work with a couple, um, because I think uh, the parents, um, if they're united and aligned, everything else just falls into place. Their kids, um, or whether that looks like a mom who's struggling. I know moms, especially this last year where COVID just kind of turned households upside down, where they had to start, adding on this weight and duties and responsibilities of homeschooling their kids, or, all those levels that as a mom we go through. And as a mom myself, I can relate. So, as a mom, trying to connect with her kids and knowing how to discipline and just really connect with them, that's another way. You know, so the family,
That's
that's where I'm gonna focus a
that's
lot.
awesome. That's such an important, place to focus. 'Cause I totally agree with you. There's that outside force really trying to attack the family on that. And, you know, that can cause us to almost take things that were totally not intended to mean what we take them as
Yeah.
sometimes. Like, I just think about it and, what you're talking about, like how that's affected moms. Like, I get it for sure. Like, I have a very, kind of unique, family situation for us. I mean, outwardly, it doesn't look like that. There's me, there's my wife, there's our kids. But how it's worked with my health issues was I was the one home. She was the
Yeah.
one out to work.
Wow.
And that outside force can attack and be like, you're worthless because
Da, 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 da. Yeah.
you're not doing it the way you're supposed to do it. Well, guess what? There's not a supposed to there. It's what works individually for each situation,
Right.
does so well that will help us. So I totally get that. I'm obviously not a mom. Like I'm like, but I was the one home with my kids when
Yeah.
all of this happened and going, okay, how are we going to handle school? How
Yeah.
are we going to do this and this and this? What do we do?
Yeah.
So that affected me. I'm not going to say the same because it affects everybody differently,
Right.
but it certainly affected me in that way as well. I just feel, lucky and blessed. Lucky, I don't really like the word lucky, so blessed is more the way I look at it. that I had that prior year of, all right, now I got to figure things out. When it came, it was like, okay, let's try this.
Yeah.
And it worked really well, like
Yeah.
so well.
Now, when did you get your transplant?
That was
Before
just,
COVID?
yeah, it was just about a year before COVID hit.
Okay.
It was in March of 2019.
Wow.
And then it was like March of
Lord was looking
2020,
out for you. Yeah.
right?
Preparing
March
you for to
of
be the
2020, everything kind of went
yeah.
shut down.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's kind of, just the way it worked, where I was able to come out of it and look at things as opposed to, oh, what am I going to do now?
Yeah.
And then change it to, this is what I'm going to do now.
Yeah.
Did everything work? No, it never does. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So, do you have like a? I know you said that the family's kind of where you're focusing.
Mhm.
Do you have an overall goal when it comes to that for yourself? Like, I want to help this many families, or like an ideal, I want this as a result for somebody. Do you have something like that that you've kind of
My goal.
you've seen or visualized?
Well, right now, my goal is to attract 4 individuals to be guided to 4 souls. And I, of course, want to expound on that. Um, but for me right now, that's my goal. Even just starting with even at least one soul, can make a difference, because when you affect one person, they can help and teach those around them, their circle of influence, and teach it to the kids. That's another goal and vision I have, is as I'm helping like moms or couples, that they will then learn for themselves how to utilize the things I teach them and what they discover within themselves. And we pass this on to generations. We as I've been getting into the coaching and in this industry, we call this a movement, because
Yes.
there's a lot of people needing it now. Especially, we've always needed it, but um, especially now. And there's a lot of people who are getting involved in it, and I believe in it.
Oh, absolutely.
So
I've I last summer, or spring into summer, thinking about it, I lived in this little 2-bedroom apartment, like not comfortable for a family
yeah.
to be in. I was like, we just don't have enough space.
Yeah.
So each of us, me and my wife particularly, would need a time during the day to kind of, okay, let's go outside, like kind of, take that little bit of time for ourselves. And and it was so interesting because when I would go outside, I would just go for a walk. It was nice outside. And that way I could stay some form of, physically active, because that's where like my brain starts to turn quite a bit, is through that. And I would get outside, and we were on the bottom level of this apartment building, so I would have to come up this little flight of stairs. As soon as I would get up the flight of the stairs, I was just like, you can almost feel everything in your, somewhat surroundings. This is kind of what people are feeling today. Not like this person is feeling this person is feeling that. I couldn't really get to that, but it was, this is what's kind of in the air,
Yeah.
happening. And it was so interesting, which kind of helped me go, oh, what can I do to help? And that's like, this is such a big thing
Yeah.
that kind of happens. And I'm sure along this, journey you've had so far, there have been things in your life where you went, huh, wow, well, this is cool that happened, right? Like, have you had things like that have happened? I'm sure you have.
yeah. Yeah. Um, well, I think of the stories of actually just witnessing in my clients. I have a story to share. Why, you can manifest your life of anything that you want. I think as another reason for this movement is people forget that they can create what they want. They feel like the outsources of people have to create what they want, and it's actually us. And inside, we were born to be creators. And so, helping my clients see that and having the techniques to lead them to really visualize and see what they can create is awesome. So one of my clients, a small thing, but it's a big deal. She wanted to find these certain flowers. I don't remember the name of the flowers, but she wanted these flowers to plant in her garden. Excuse me, there is the doorbell. I don't know who's there, but
Okay.
just don't mind that. And she, for months, could not find them. And so she was kind of getting depressed about it. Like, I really want these flowers. And I think she took some of what I've taught her and changed just her thoughts on it. One day she just said, you know what? I'm going to go try today, and I am going to go take my husband to work, and there is a Walmart across the street, and there are going to be flowers there that I would want. And lo and behold, she went to this Walmart, and she found the flowers that she wanted, that she really wanted to plant in her garden. Now, you can say, yeah, that might be a coincidence or, just random. But as I'm finding, as I've developed and used these skills, that no, we can manifest what we want. We can create it.
Absolutely. I
So,
mean, I totally get it. With this platform here that I've made, I remember several months ago now, one of the first people that messaged me like, "Hey, I was able to sell this much
yeah,
by being featured on here." I was just like, man, like, and it's not like this humongous, ridiculous number, but it was like I helped this person get that.
hmm,
Like, and that was the whole purpose of doing this.
yeah,
So now I know with you being a life coach, you definitely want to help people.
yeah.
So I'm sure you have something you would like to tell people about that you have.
Yes. So,
Oh, what does it look like?
yeah, Philip will pull up how you can get a hold of me through Facebook. And then I am currently in the process of creating my business email address. And so I will post that eventually. But down below in the screen, you'll see my group page that
We'll
I have
also post
created.
this in the comments.
Yeah. And I have a free, I have, let's see, a early bird special right now, a really good price. So you might want to get in on it because as I'm evolving and changing my business and involving myself, the price is going to go up. So right now I offer $30 per hour session. I do 1 hour sessions, or you can sign up for a 12-week program with me for $300, and that will save you. So it really comes down to, I believe, 25 an hour, but you
Better.
can get a lot more out of obviously a 12-week than just 1 hour with me. But
Yes.
so to get into that, you can join my group that's in that link down there. And then you can contact me and personally message me. I also have my personal page there too, that you can befriend me there and message me, MN me, and then we can set up a time to meet. So that is what I'm offering right now. I'm so excited to start helping more and more people. So,
That's awesome. I I highly encourage people, at the very, very least, check out this page.
yeah,
And then you're probably gonna look at it and go, well, dang, this is pretty cool. I have to message her right now.
yes.
Like,
That
no doubt.
Thank you, Philip. Yeah, that page also I try to will give you free tips on like self-care, common triggers, struggles, and how to deal with that, and like emotional management and thought management. So you'll get some free tips in that group each week.
All right. Oh, that's awesome. I highly, highly recommend everybody check this out.
Okay.
Like it's gonna help change how everybody kind of sees maybe what they're doing. They don't even notice sometimes. Like I said, there have been so many things I've done in my life that probably negatively impacted me. I didn't even know I was doing it.
Hmm.
So, but once you kind of figure that out,
Yeah, you're
it's such like a
things change.
little change. And I know there have been so many people during this whole pandemic COVID thing that went, huh, man, I see all this stuff out there, but I'm already so busy. I don't want to add. Like, I totally understand it. And there's a value in, and from what I've seen you do, it's not entirely, okay, now go do this big, humongous thing. Sometimes it's cut out this little thing.
Yeah.
Like, there's as much value in stopping something, actually frees up your time, everybody,
Hmm. Yeah.
and adding just an unbelievable amount of things into your schedule. Like when you take those pieces out that just aren't working for you, like that can make a humongous difference where you go, oh, now I can add all this stuff. Sweet.
Right. Yeah.
And it's gonna be super cool. Everybody check out this. We're gonna post the links in the comments to both that page as well as this one.
Okay.
And then I encourage everyone to check it out. And also, everybody share, like, comment, like, put this out there because I want Ashley to get as many people in here as she can.
Yes, we do. As many as we can.
Many as we
Do
can.
you do you mind, Philip, to just share a testimonial up? You can pull up Jocelyn Aranda's.
Yes, I can.
I'll just share one testimonial with you.
Absolutely. Let me get
Yeah.
it.
So she is the one that I like to say planted the seed for me on my self-improvement journey.
I'm getting it right now. In this very top.
Yeah, and I can read it too. It's hard to read or see,
Hmm.
but it says Ashley has created a safe place for me to share my insecurities, fears, and struggles. She gives me action steps I can take to bring my stuffed emotions and trauma up and out. It's uncomfortable, but it's growth. Ashley guides me to grow into the best version of me, and many times she has literally provided light to my truth, meaning she digs deeper and a new level of awareness unfolded itself. And with that, I have more control to change what I need to change. Don't miss out because you think you can figure it out on your own. She saves you time, energy, and effort. So thank you, Philip, for
Very well.
taking the opportunity for me to share my journey and my story and
Absolutely.
interviewing me today.
Absolutely. Okay. And if anybody didn't really get a chance to see it, we can post that as well.
Okay,
So people can read it for themselves. Thank
perfect.
you for being here, Ashley. Uh,
Thank you.
I've had a great time having you. And again, we're going to encourage everyone, check out that page. It's already got some super valuable stuff on it.
Okay.
So I want everyone to go and check that out like as soon as they can. And we'll see you next time on Studio Spotlight 9. See you,
Thanks.
everyone.
Bye.